What it do, what it do, what it do. It's your boy Big Val Opinion back with another live video. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that share button. And most importantly, make sure you sub to the channel. Turn on that post notification bell so that you be notified each and every time that your boy Big Val is going live, man. With that being said, let's get into this intro. Welcome to Big Val Opinion. Moderators, with my permission, any negativity in the chat should be hidden from this channel. This channel is a negativity-free channel, drama-free channel, and we are here to push the message out. We will not be distracted. So with my permission, any negativity in the chat should be hidden from this channel. Welcome to Big Val Opinion platform.
And I just really want people to know, I appreciate anybody that's helping me. I appreciate anybody that's helping me. A lot of people have been there for me. I just don't want people going back and forth, being mad at each other because one person did this for me and another person did that for me. That's what the devil wants. He wants to cause confusion. That's what these people want. They want to cause confusion. And confusion ain't gonna do nothing but keep me in here. But the real thing here.
Yo, what it do? It's your boy Big Val Opinion back with another live video. And as y'all saw the title of this live, man, Goon Squad Police Unit in Mississippi leave 2 black men for dead, bro. And this is not headline breaking news across the world, across the country, man. What's really going on? So make sure y'all get in here, hit that like button, hit that share button, share the live. Let the people know Big Vi is back and Big Vi got something to say tonight, man. Make sure y'all tell y'all people to get here so we can get this live popping. You feel me? Y'all know how YouTube behave. Y'all know how YouTube behave sometimes. But I'm telling y'all, do not want to miss this story, man. Y'all do not want to miss this story. You know, I know your boy been out for a while. You know, haven't been on for a minute, so we gotta help get this. We gotta help get back into the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? You gotta help get back into the algorithm. But we're gonna get there, man. We're gonna get there. We're gonna let some people get in here. JoJo, what's up with it? Patrick, what's good with it? Miss Lady T, what's up with it?
It's simple. I love it. Having you near me.
Let them know I'm here.
Having you here. Our conversation.
Our conversations.
Outrageous.
Look.
You smile.
You smile, baby. And I smile and I say, hey, hey.
This is getting personal.
It's getting personal, baby.
Personal.
Happy sad.
Stay for a while and play. Girl, let's make this a moment. Oh, giving you the best of me. Amazing, amazing. Oh, having you close to me. Amazing, outrageous. Give your best to me. Good morning, good morning. It's breakfast.
Lost track of time, but
we
had a ball, baby.
Let's catch a movie.
Then dinner.
Then dinner.
Hey.
Tonight's the night.
What's up, V White? Yeah, I've been gone, but I'm back. They say he back.
Let's stay for a while.
Now I'm finna get ready to get into my content, man. And I'm gonna do my thing. And like I say, man, if you ain't vibing, then you ain't riding. You hear me? But it's Saturday. And I want y'all to know one thing. I got my what? I came on to have a good time. I came on to have a good time, you know? I worked hard all week, so it's time for me to take a break. I know. But yeah, enough of that. Whew. So, right here, man, y'all see the title. Goon Squad. And I'm going to play a little bit of it as well. Some of the things that went on, or just how this police unit is being spoke about. And this is, like they say, enablers, right? You hear that word a lot. This is a situation where you have a sheriff who enabled his deputies to act in such a manner of these deputies to even call themselves the goon squad. I'm gonna let y'all hear it. I'm gonna let y'all hear for y'allself. Hold on.
Bring victims, Jenkins and Parker, but for
a warning to our audience, this next segment contains descriptions and images of police violence. We turn now to Mississippi, where 6 white former police officers who called themselves the Goon Squad have pleaded guilty to raiding a home and torturing 2 black men earlier this year, after first trying to cover up their action.
Y'all hear this?
Bring victims.
Okay, let's get y'all. We need to get here. Hold on just a second. Let's get this down. Let's get this up. Let's get this there. Yeah. Okay, so y'all can have context of what's being talked about.
Audience, this next segment contains descriptions and images of police violence. We turn now to Mississippi, where 6 white former police officers who called themselves the Goon Squad have pleaded guilty to raiding a home and torturing 2 black men earlier this year, after first trying to cover up their actions. Some of the officers face life in prison. On January 24th, court records show the deputies raided a home in Braxton, Mississippi, after a white neighbor of one of the officers called them to complain there were black men staying there. The officer texted the others, quote, "Are y'all available for a mission?" That night, without a warrant, the officers burst into the home, handcuffed, beat, tasered the 2 men, Michael Corey Jenkins and Eddie Terrell Parker. Also sexually abused them with a sex toy with shouting racial slurs. One of the officers.
Now, do y'all hear? Now, these are police officers interacting with each other in this manner. The police officer texts the other police officers and asks them, were they available for a mission? What's up, Julia? Ask them, were they available for a mission? These are the two black guys that were assaulted. But this shit get worse as we continue to listen. It's going to get worse. So these officers text each other and said, are y'all ready for a mission? Are y'all available for a mission? Then they went out to this house with no warrant at all. And all this is based off of the simple fact that a neighbor made a report about black neighbors next door. Not about a crime being committed or they felt like a crime was committed, just because the neighbors reported that black people was living next door. Nah, you can't just let this slide like that. But this is the police office unit acting in this manner.
A warning to our audience, this next segment contains descriptions and images of police violence. We turn now to Mississippi, where 6 white former police officers who called themselves the Goon Squad have pleaded guilty to raiding a home and torturing 2 black men earlier this year, after first trying to cover up their actions. Some of the officers face life in prison. On January 24th, court records show the deputies raided a home in Braxton, Mississippi, after a white neighbor of one of the officers called them to complain there were black men staying there. The officer texted the others, quote, "Are y'all available for a mission?" That night, without a warrant, the officers burst into the home, handcuffed, beat, tasered the 2 men, Michael Corey Jenkins and Eddie Terrell Parker. Also sexually abused them with a sex toy with...
Now, what was all of this shit for? Sexually abuse these brothers. Not only did you assault, not only did you beat them, you sexually abuse these brothers with a sex toy. What the fuck is really going on? And this is the police. This is the sheriff's office who's conducting this type of behavior. The people who are supposed to protect the citizens in the community, right? This is behavior from the people who are supposed to protect the citizens in the community. Now, y'all go to a home with no warrant. Then you get inside of the home. You beat and assault these brothers. You sexually assault these brothers with a sex toy. Oh, and it get worse.
Shouting racial slurs. One of the officers put a gun in Jenkins' mouth for a mock execution and pulled the trigger. The bullet lacerated Jenkins' tongue, broke his jaw, exited through his neck. This is U.S. Attorney Darren LaMarca.
The brother you see with the glasses on and the white shirt was shot in the mouth by one of these officers. The brother in the white shirt was shot in the mouth by one of these officers during this home invasion, because it wasn't a raid. They had no warrant. This was a home invasion.
Week, announcing federal charges against the former officers for the attack.
But not only did they brazenly commit these...
Let's go back. This is what has to be stopped. This is the guy who was shot. So after after they went in the house, assaulted these brothers, sexually assaulted these brothers, shot the brother in the white in the mouth. They gathered on the porch, the goon squad. They gathered on the porch while on body camera now. They on body camera discussing how they were going to cover up what they had just done.
Acts. But after inflicting serious bodily injury by firing a shot through one of the victim's mouths, they left him lying in a pool of blood. Gathered on the porch of the house to discuss how to cover it up. What indifference, what disregard for life.
After the attack, Michael Corey Jenkins was actually charged with a felony based on methamphetamine the officers said they found in the raid. But records show that was a lie, and the charge was dropped. In fact, the deputies planted drugs to devise an excuse for the raid and also stole surveillance video from the house. Their body cameras were off. Court documents said the officers used the name Goon Squad, quote, because of their willingness to use excessive force and not to report it. The Associated Press found the deputies were linked to at least 4 violent attacks on Black men since 2019. 2 of the men died. For more, we're joined by Michael Corey Jenkins and Eddie Terrell Parker, as well as...
Now, doesn't that seem to fit the description of a criminal enterprise? This goon squad, right? This goon squad seemed to fit the description of a criminal enterprise more than these people that they are alleging on these news outlets that are criminal enterprises. This goon squad in Rankin County, Mississippi sounds more to be a criminal enterprise than a police force, right?
Malik Shabazz, a civil rights attorney with Black Lawyers for Justice, who's representing them. We welcome you all to Democracy Now! Malik, let's begin with you. Can you talk about how this case was exposed, how we saw these officers charged, and what you understand about their background, this not being the first vicious attack?
Okay, thank you for having us on. I want to say before we get started that Michael and Eddie will only be speaking
Man, you hear? Oh shit. Let me see. All right, all right, all right. There we go. God, my bad, my bad. Man, this shit crazy, man. Damn, why the hell they? Man, YouTube don't want me to be great. They don't want that. They don't want that. They don't want that to happen, man. But what you see those guys talking about, they talking about the encounter with the officers. I guess I had to do it like this.
After months, at first they didn't even believe us. You know, for a while I didn't think they were gonna even get a slap on the wrist or anything, but I feel great about it.
And I know it's difficult for you to talk with the gun in your mouth. The police shot you through your mouth, lacerating your tongue. It went through to your neck, shredding that area of your neck. I am only glad that you can be with us today. Did you think you were going to survive that night, Michael?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm still going through pain right now. My whole face, my mouth hurting right now as we speak.
And Eddie Parker, if you can talk about your response to this plea deal.
That's a long time coming. It's something I say there's also history too. Coming from a long way of going through this situation with the same police officers, and pretty much you steer clear, stay out the way so you wouldn't end up in this situation. But ending up in this situation wasn't part of me, staying clear. So I'm astounded. I'm real happy that it's finally come to a point where they're getting getting a feeling of what they dish out to people, day in, day out.
And I really misspoke because it's not a deal. They have pled guilty. The idea that they call themselves, Eddie Parker, that they call themselves the Goon Squad. Your thoughts?
That's the Goon Squad. That seems to be a crime organization that I guess they were paid to.
Let me check it, make sure that YouTube ain't blocked the stream. So when I say something, y'all can hear me. But when I play the video, y'all can't hear the video. That's wild. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm not okay with that. Yeah, man. But this is the story. I want y'all to go check this story out. If they not gonna let me share the story, I want y'all to go check the story out. I was gonna give my input on it, and let's see. I was gonna give my input on it and speak on how I felt about it. But if they not gonna let me share the story, you know, This is the title right here. Oh, V White said we was hearing it. Okay. Well, Julie, I don't know what's going on. Some people saying they hearing it. You might have to refresh yours. Oh, see if you can hear it now. See if you can hear it now. Let's see.
As your lawsuit also mentions other times Rankin County Sheriff deputies used excessive force, I want to ask you about Damian Cameron, who died in 2020.
Or, everything they do, they want to get, this, certain, I guess you say, the end of the stick treatment as, being the golden ones, but they're not. They're people just like us. I mean, they go out and they do, the opposite of what they're getting paid to do. I think it's very horrendous how they can call themselves, goon squad and, still put on the badge and say they're protecting people.
Malik Shabazz, your lawsuit also mentions other times Rankin County Sheriff deputies used excessive force. I want to ask you about Damian Cameron, who died in 2021 after being taken into custody by the same Rankin County Sheriff's deputies who later attacked Michael Jenkins and Eddie Parker. This is a clip from a WAPT news report featuring Jenkins' mother, Monica Lee.
A news release from the Rankin County Sheriff's Office says deputies got a call about a burglary and vandalism. When they arrived, Damian was identified as the suspect. The release says as a deputy approached him, he began to fight and resist arrest. They were able to eventually get him into custody and into a patrol car.
And I'm thinking they're taking my son to jail. So I go outside to tell my son goodbye and I love him and I'll be up there tomorrow. At that point, when I got to the side of the truck, my son was laid on the ground, unresponsive.
Monica Lee has said she believes if the sheriff had taken action against the deputies involved in her son's death, maybe they would not have gone on to attack Michael Jenkins and Eddie Parker. The lawsuit also holds Sheriff Bailey responsible for failing to properly train the deputies involved in these incidents. This is Rankin County Sheriff Brian Bailey speaking last week about the charges his former deputies pled guilty to.
Based on the fact.
Now, how are these deputies? I mean, they have had two deaths between the time of them being called the goon squad of Rankin County. They have had two people that they arrested have come up dead. And then these two brothers you all see on the screen, the brother that's with the white shirt and the glasses, the officer shot this brother in the mouth, put a gun in his mouth and pulled the trigger and shot him. They sexually assaulted these brothers with sex toys. What type of fucking polices are these? This is the sheriff giving his explanation to his deputies' behavior.
In their guilty pleas, all of the former deputies lied to me that night of this incident in January. We have cooperated.
Now, the sheriff is saying all of the former deputies lied to him the night of the incident. But if, as a sheriff, isn't it your job to investigate any interactions that your deputies have with citizens, right? Isn't it the sheriff's responsibility to investigate any interaction his deputies have with citizens? So how can your deputies lie to you if you did what you were supposed to do as a sheriff, and that is investigate the incident that took place? Someone was shot. You knew that happened. You knew they went into this home with no warrant. You knew that happened. They lied like the two brothers were selling heroin. Then y'all dropped those charges. So at what point were you going to realize that something wasn't right as a sheriff? You just don't get to come out and say, my deputies lied to me the night of the incident. No, it doesn't work that way. You aided and abetted your deputies in this type of behavior. You allowed your deputies to perform this type of behavior. You backed them as a sheriff. You backed your deputies in the behavior that they displayed. Because if you did not, they would not be so comfortable displaying this type of behavior. Why were these deputies so comfortable violating these brothers or violating countless of brothers' civil rights, beating on brothers? Why would these deputies be so comfortable? There's only one reason for them being comfortable as they were, moving the way that they were, knowing that they have had prior incidents where people lost their lives. It's because you, as a sheriff, you were backing your deputies.
Fully with all outside investigating agencies to uncover the truth and bring justice to the victims. We've also sought assistance from outside agencies and consultants to help us in repairing our trust with the community.
So that was Rankin County Sheriff Brian Bailey speaking last week. Malik Shabazz, the civil rights attorney who has brought the lawsuit on behalf of Michael Jenkins and Eddie Parker, if you can respond to the sheriff and to this previous case.
Yes. First of all, I want to give honors to Miss Monica Lee, who was the mother of Damian Cameron, attorney Trent Walker, and myself. We represent Miss Monica Lee for the death of Damian Cameron, which occurred at the...
Did any one of you hear about Damian Cameron being murdered by the police in Rankin County, Mississippi? Do anyone recall this? This was in 2021. I know it was a few years ago, but do anyone recall a police killing, a police murder in Rankin County, Mississippi? Never saw it on the TV, never heard of it. Never saw, never heard of it until I watched this video.
Hands of the Rankin County Sheriff's Department and its officers, including Hunter Elwood, the shooter who didn't just shoot Michael Jenkins in his mouth, he placed the gun inside Michael Jenkins' mouth and held it for an extended period of time, almost up to a minute, before he intentionally shot Michael Jenkins in his mouth.
Now, do you all hear what a fucking police officer did to this brother in the white shirt? The police officer did to the brother in the white shirt, put the pistol in his mouth and held it there. Then eventually went on to shoot this brother.
To kill him. Yes, Miss Lee is correct. If they would not have participated in a cover-up around Damian Cameron's death, Damian Cameron's death is analogous and very similar to George Floyd's death. It was Hunter Elwood and Luke Stickman who put the knees on Damian Cameron's back and on his neck, causing trauma to his neck and causing hemorrhages in both of Damian Cameron's eyes, meaning that the compression on his neck is what led to asphyxiation and his actual cause of death. But the autopsy mysteriously was ruled undetermined. With all of the evidence that I'm saying and all of the gruesome photos of the neck injuries and the hemorrhages of the eyes bulging out of his head.
Now this is from the arrest that the goon squad made in 2021 of Damian Cameron, who was killed similar to the way George Floyd was killed?
Autopsy finding was mysteriously undetermined. The autopsy itself is missing certain information, and therefore, myself and Black Lawyers for Justice, we have our own forensic pathologists who are coming forth shortly to show you that this was a homicide and that Rankin County and Brian Bailey refused to provide the state medical examiner with information to reach a proper conclusion because they were all protecting the officers from criminal prosecution. Therefore, the autopsy is suspicious. The autopsy and the efforts to have a genuine autopsy, it was covered up by Rankin County. And Brian Bailey has been a part of this. Ms. Lee is correct. If they hadn't been trying to cover up, if Bailey hadn't been trying to justify his officers, no, he didn't just not train them, he has participated in acts of.
So if y'all feel like Brian Bailey should be charged with these 6 officers, put yes in the chat. If y'all feel like Brian Bailey did everything he could do to prevent his officers from going out, committing these type of crimes they were committing, then y'all say no. But if y'all feel as though Brian Bailey, the sheriff of Rankin County, should be charged just as well as the 6 officers, put a yes in the chat, and we're going to figure out what we got to do to get some letters sent over, start a petition or whatever we got to do, because this sheriff officer in Rankin County, Mississippi, need to be charged just as well as these 6 officers for the death of Damian Cameron and for the assault that they did to these 2 brothers on this stream, because the sheriff assisted these deputies in the bullshit that they were going around committing.
Excessive force with his department, according to the courts. When Hunter Elwood shot Pierre Woods in Rankin County on the ground, and he gunned him and he shot him 9 times with his rifle, and the man was no threat to him. Sheriff Bailey was on the scene, and a federal judge ruled that Bailey could not have qualified immunity because he ratified and watched it all go on in person. And so the truth is coming out about the death of Damian Cameron and how they had the knees on his neck, like his mother has testified by affidavit to, and they had the knees on his neck.
And let me show y'all Damian Cameron. Give y'all a look at who Damian Cameron was. This young man. Let y'all see who Damian Cameron was. This shit is sad, bro. And how this police unit operated around the way they did. This is Damian Cameron. With the 2 guys on the stream is the 2 guys that survived this goddamn police unit. But this is Damian Cameron right here. This guy right, young guy right here, in 2021 was killed by the Rankin County sheriff deputies, and it was covered up. It was covered up. What you got going on, brother Jeff?
Big vibe, what's going on? Everybody in the chat. Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Man, you know, I was just sitting here getting myself situated for the night and just listening the last maybe 30 minutes or so. And this sounds like something from back in the Jim Crow days or something.
Man, you know I promise you, bro, this is what these people are describing with these 6 officers calling themselves the goon squad. You are listening to what a fucking RICO a criminal enterprise looks like.
Exactly.
You're listening to a criminal enterprise. This sheriff unit was running as a criminal enterprise, and they were being assisted by the sheriff himself.
That's unbelievable. And for that to happen in 2021,
the death of Damian Cameron happened in 2021. This shit just recently happened to the two brothers that was on the string.
Oh wow.
Man, you put the gun in this man's mouth and hold it there for over a minute, then you shoot him in his mouth. Sexually assault these guys with sex toys.
Right. What kind of shit is these? See, that's what I'm saying. That sounds like, back in the slavery days, like when they used to do all those dehumanizing things to our ancestors.
Right. Buck breaking, as they call it.
Yeah, I would like to dig into the history of this town and these particular officers, what they, you know what I'm saying, and how long they've been doing this.
Man, they say they've been a unit for 5 years. So imagine that's been the whole 5 they whole entire 5 years. They studied the guy talk about the officer shooting a guy on the ground 9 times. He was a part of this goon squad, and this sheriff stood right there.
They say, man, the KKK, that's why they wear their sheets, so they could go back and put on their doctor uniforms and their police uniforms.
I seen Chi-Town put that on her community wall the other day, and I say, man, that shit's so profound, people don't understand.
Yeah, that's why I saw that. Shout out to Chi-Town, because
the shit is so crazy though, because this shit, a story as big as this, not to make headline news all over CNN, NBC, ABC, for this shit to get no type of traction.
If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have known nothing about it.
And all 6 officers pled guilty now.
Wow.
They didn't take a plea deal. All 6 officers pled guilty. Then you got the sheriff sit here and say, well, all the deputies lied to me. Well, you as a sheriff, you are supposed to investigate any interaction your officer have with citizens, man.
Yeah, especially if they
traffic stops to whatever. He's supposed to investigate this shit.
Exactly, especially given the fact that they already had some,
prior history of misconduct.
Exactly. That cost a man his life. Well, yeah, that
my officers couldn't. They word would be shit to me. Y'all word ain't shit. I can't take y'all word. Then they say after the officers shot the man in the mouth and left him in a pool of blood, they went on a porch to discuss how they were gonna fucking cover the shit up.
Wow. I mean, this almost sounds premeditated, like they had some type of vendetta against these brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they say the neighbor. So I guess one of the officers was neighbors of these brothers, because the officers, I don't know. They say the neighbor called. So the officer neighbor called him about the brothers living next door. So the officer called the other officers and asked them were they up for going on a mission. So they out here playing Call of Duty with motherfucking lives.
Right. Because they feel they got the power to do so. Just because they in a blue suit, and they figure they could just get away with it because it's black people,
Right. Thank you, Darlene. Welcome, Regina. Just because they black people, man, and you in Mississippi, where Mississippi don't make the news a lot. That's just like when Jay-Z, not Jay-Z, was it Jay-Z and Yo Gotti filed a lawsuit against the prison system? And was that in Mississippi? I'm thinking it was in Mississippi. Well, Mississippi got sued. The prison system got sued for inhumane conditions.
Right.
Back a few years back, about the living conditions of the inmates in these prisons in the state of Mississippi. You don't really hear a lot about Mississippi. The
You really
last
don't.
thing we heard from Mississippi really big was Brad Favre stealing.
Right.
And that shit came and went.
Mm-hmm.
That came and went. But when we, the people of this country, or this United States corporation that we're living in, when we see things like this, to understand that shit like this is still going on in 2023, man, a lot of us, we need to stop looking at our brother that looks like us or our sister that looks like us as our enemy, and understand who our real enemy is.
Exactly. Time better spent, you know, preparing for things to offset the, shit like this in our communities, and that's why a lot of street organizations were developed, you know,
Right.
to protect the
To
community.
protect and serve. So, you didn't have outside sources coming in and policing, especially like where I'm from. Most of the polices, I mean, I ain't gonna say most of them, 100% of the polices in a little small town I'm from in Louisiana are all from that town. You don't
Yeah.
see out of town polices come. You see the polices, and like when I go to the city, it's totally different. In the city, the polices have precincts where they go and park, and then they get into their regular car and go home. Where I'm from, the police officer parked their car in the yard.
Right, at their house.
At their house.
Yeah.
It ain't no precinct. See, you knew who the officers were. You know what I'm saying? And all the officers knew who you were. I remember being young, hot-headed, out in the streets fighting with my friends and shit. And the officers come out, break it up, pick you up, put you in the car. The same person you were just fighting, they put both of y'all in the back of the goddamn car and drop y'all off at y'all house and say, Miss such and such, yeah, he go Big Vi. He was out there fighting. I told him I was gonna bring him to you so you can get on his ass. I know you raised him better than that. This, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? That's the policing where I come from. Now, when I went to the city, policing was totally different.
Yeah. See, like that, man. You definitely got an advantage with communities that are ran like that, where the people that are the community patrol it. When you got these people that come from different areas to patrol the people that they don't understand, people that they may not like, you're gonna consistently have an issue. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
With the citizens and law enforcement.
And I like to always say, it ain't bad. It ain't they not all bad.
No,
But
not at
it's
all.
the good ones that has to call out the bad ones. And like I look at on Instagram all the time, this Officer Norman up in Little Rock, Arkansas. And this brother, this is a Caucasian man, but he's always in the black community. He's always doing something, giving back, helping these people, dealing with the disabled people. He's one of those officers that was out there that I see. And I watch him on Instagram all the time. I've been watching this guy for years. So many people I've learned from watching him on Instagram, his interaction with these people. I've seen on his Instagram one day where a guy, he was out policing, and a guy contacted him while he was out. It was a brother. Say, hey man, I got a warrant. They want me to turn myself in, but I told them I want you to come and get me and take me in. You know what I'm saying? That's just how much respect that the black community had for this white officer, because he was out there with the people, with the black community, interacting with the black community, understanding the black community. Because a lot of these officers, they don't understand us and they don't understand our behavior, so they quick to prejudge what
Exactly.
looks like or what appears to be something that it may not be. You know what I'm saying? If I'm a police officer and I'm policing a certain area, I want to know this area I'm policing in. I want to know the area where it's kids at. I want to know the areas where I want to make sure if it's deaf children that live on this block, hey, y'all need to get some signs out there on the street to let people know that there are deaf children that lives on this block. So be cautious when you coming through here. You know what I'm saying? That's what we see where I'm from. Where I'm from, you have the signs out when you go through. Slow down. There's children playing on this block. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
like that you have to have polices who care enough. But when you see shit like this, shit that's going on in Mississippi, that doesn't build community and policing relationship. That makes it even more so a problem because if you get pulled over and you see one of these goon squad dudes, your chance you might fucking pull off and go on a high speed chase while you running. But in my eyes, you running could be justified because shit, all the stories you done heard about these motherfuckers, you might not make it out.
Right. Might as well just got pulled over by the ops.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro. It's crazy that a police task force could operate the way that these guys were operating as long as they were, and for this sheriff to stand there and say the deputies lied to him, that's just not gonna work for me. You are the head of this fucking organization, bro.
Yeah, negligence is an understatement in that situation. Like, how you don't do a thorough investigation. It's almost like you're in cahoots with them, you know? So,
man, I'm gonna tell you some shit happened in my hometown, man. I was young, probably middle school, man. The feds came through my hometown, did a sweep, picking up people, drug dealers or whatever. Man, the most breaking news ever, bro, was the fucking sheriff. The sheriff was picked up as well. Come to find out, they had a couple different sets of people in my hometown that was known. You had these guys that call themselves two time, then you had these other guys that call themselves the mob. The mob guys. These guys they was flashy. You know what I'm saying? They was flashy. They had it. They was having it back then. So when the feds came in and raided my hometown, everybody wondered. Like we knew certain names we were hearing, we understood. But when they said the sheriff, the chief of police, that's what they called it. Because in my hometown, we got a sheriff and we got a chief, the city police, and we got the sheriff department. So the chief of police was arrested along with everyone else during this roundup. So we're like, how the hell the chief of police go to jail? Come to find out, he got mob tattooed on his back. He's the fucking ringleader.
wow.
He was the ringleader. We're like, the chief of police? They're like, yeah, this motherfucker got mob on his back.
He gang.
He banging like a motherfucker out here. Nobody knew it though. Nobody knew that. So when you see this sheriff in Rankin County, you sit here talking about your deputies lied to you. You knew what your deputy was out there doing, man. And then you know what's so crazy about this shit though, Jill? Everybody who ever been, every arrest these guys ever made, all of those guys should be set free.
Yep.
That's the policy in other states, in most places. If they come to find out that an officer is corrupt and he have made 100 arrests, every arrest that this officer was involved in, all of these guys get to go free.
Yep. That's how it works.
So anybody that this goon squad ever arrested, all of those people should be out of prison right now because they have been proven to be crooked.
Mm-hmm. Nothing they ever did is credible.
Nothing. Now this is crazy, man. These people are put in place to protect and serve, and then turns around and look at the outcome of it.
Man,
Look
this is
at when you and Jeff, that's like you running. You got into it with a motherfucker. You running for your life, and you see the police, and you be like, "Whew, man, boy, I'm glad to see y'all." Just to realize you probably ran into the worst fucking problem.
you might as well run back to where you was running from.
You want to run back the other way. You know
Oh
what I'm
man.
saying?
I'm saying dealing with these fools, man, with these fools here, these jokers here, the way what they on, man, it's like, bro, you ain't just killing these, trying to kill these brothers. You gonna use a sex object to rape them? What the hell?
Sexually assault the guy, left the guy in a pool of blood, left the guy after shooting him in his mouth. You left him in a pool of blood.
Man,
like, come on, man.
Come on.
my people. What are we gonna do? But they want us to be focused on Donald Trump being picked up on a RICO, right? They want us to focus on Judge Ann Donnelly study pushing the issue about Sony paying $500,000. They want us to focus on all this bullshit, but a story like this does not make national news. Says a lot about this country.
But you know what? I said when that Montgomery, Alabama brawl happened, I said black people need to be careful because a lot of these radical whites are going to be trying to see some type of revenge.
Revenge, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to be.
Agree.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that this is that, but it could be. You know what I'm saying? Like,
this was one of them situations where, like I said, it took place a little early on in the year. So we don't want people to be like, oh man, they are. But this the type of shit. This the type of shit that causes continuation when you see this type of behavior. But now we're seeing these guys plead guilty. Maybe, just maybe, it may be a little different. You know, seeing these guys plead guilty. Maybe they may, it may make people look and feel a certain way. You know what I'm saying? But us as a community of people, man, we have to come together and we have to look at this shit from a different lens. You know what I'm saying? We gotta stand up. We gotta stand up and we gotta see it for what it is, man. For real.
Absolutely.
If y'all ain't see that story, like I say, man, y'all go check it out. The title of that story is Horrendous Black Men Tortured by White Mississippi Police. If y'all want to see the full story in its totality, because y'all know how YouTube, when I was sharing the story, they was hating, muting, whatever the situation may be. So for everybody in the chat that want to go and check this story out, is Horrendous Black Men Tortured by White Mississippi Police. And y'all go check the video out in its totality. Man, they got about five other people that they also assaulted, man. 2 ending in fatalities.
But yeah, bro, I'm about to get ready to just step out the door.
Yeah, I'm finna get ready to get out of here myself, man.
Okay.
And sit back and enjoy the rest of this Sunday. And man, everybody, y'all be blessed, man. Y'all stay woke, stay alert, man. And most importantly, man, educate yourself as much as you can, man. And go out and seek the information for yourself. Don't allow people to bring back to you what they want to tell you, because you see they're not going to tell us what we want to know.
Absolutely. You know, do the research for yourself, and like you said, to stay aware, to stay alive, keep your head on the swivel out here. And peace and blessings to everybody in the chat. Peace and blessings to you, Big Back. Until next time, man. Much love.
Wow, look at this shit with V White say. I'm gonna cover this tomorrow. I'm gonna find this story and cover it tomorrow.
Oh wow. Hated black people, so he shot up $1. Oh my God. See, we was just talking about that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like these people finna be tripping, you know. They felt like that Montgomery, Alabama thing was too much of an L, you know.
Right. Well, okay, y'all. So until next time, man, Jeff, be safe out there, brother.
Yes,
And
sir.
until next time, man,
all right.
y'all be good in the chat, man. Catch y'all tomorrow, and y'all have a blessed rest of y'all day. EJ, what's up, man?